Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I am back again doing your finance focused monthly tarot horoscope for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Taurus. And this is for the month of May 2015. I am using a new deck. This is the Tarot de Marseille deck. You can get it on Amazon. This is a very older, much older traditional deck, okay? His name is Pierre Madani. I cannot say his name. Madani. So I, as usual, took my decks and I made it my own. And I took some of the traditional meanings of the cards, but then I also put my own special, unique Aquarius twist on it. And so, yeah, so I am also disclaiming that I am not financially responsible or legally liable for any financial loss that may occur if you go and gamble or if you go and make any financial decisions based on this video. This is for entertainment purposes only, okay? So I'm disclaiming that. And again, this is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in Taurus. And just finishing up the shuffle here. This is a huge deck of cards, by the way. It's really, really big. Much bigger than my other ones. And the reason I chose this deck is because it has a lot of, I call them coin cards, where the Pentacles cards are just separate. They're just the coins. And I like that because then you know, okay, this is money. You know, you're in the money, right? So that's kind of how I see it. And bear with me, my voice is a little bit tired. I have been talking all day. Excuse me. It's interesting, guys, because, you know, pretty much every single one of the signs so far has gotten this card, and this is in the position of emotions, okay? And this is, you know, I don't know how this is possible. I mean, this is in my old Shadowscapes deck, and I am still using it, by the way, but, you know, the one that I normally use has a liar, cheater, thief card. And I made a liar, cheater, thief card for this deck because it represents people in the world who are being dishonest, or this represents people who are blocking their blessings by engaging in acts of adultery or engaging in acts of cheating, where it blocks literally your financial blessings when you do that, okay? It's like you're doing something bad, so the universe can't give you something good kind of thing, okay? To simplify it, like to overly simplify it, okay? This card has come up for pretty much for every single sign so far. And that tells me that whatever is going on in May, or whatever's going on in society as a whole, we need to really look at, we need to take a really strong look at our selfish desires and needs. And we need to say, okay, what are we doing here? Why are we either engaging in these acts of, you know, cheating and lying? What is it that needs to be learned here? Okay, what is it that people need to learn? Why is this happening continuously? Why are we choosing to do this? You know, is it because it's easy? Is it because it's selfish? Is it because, you know, it's safe? Is it because we don't want change? Is it because we don't want to is it because we're lazy? We don't want to put the effort into finding a real relationship? What is it that we need to figure out, okay, about ourselves, about humanity as a whole? If this card is coming up for every single reading, and this is a finance-focused, you know, reading. This is not about necessarily relationships. This is about finances and prosperity and abundance. And so a lot of people, I feel like, are blocking their blessings by being in relationships that aren't healthy. Either they're in a relationship and they need to get out of it, or they're cheating on the relationship, or they're with someone who needs to get out of their relationship. So this card comes up, in the position of emotions, but I don't see necessarily this type of reading finance, as this doesn't have to be the position of emotions. This can just be someone that you're going to meet in the future, or there's something that needs to be addressed about this in the future when it comes to your finances, okay? And I'll read this card, okay? This is a liar, a cheater, someone who is acting without discretion, who most likely thinks they won't get caught. Little do they know, the truth always comes out. Indicates a person who is distracted by sex and relationships and needs more career and money focus, okay? So it's strange to me, Taurus, because Tauruses are very practical and financially focused, and you do have 3 coin cards here, so that's good. And I feel like you have a healthy balance of what I would call career cards, coin cards, and relationship cards. But for you to have this tells me that you're getting caught up in the drama, you're getting caught up in something that isn't healthy for you. You're getting caught up in a relationship or a fantasy or a person that isn't either on their best behavior or doing what's right, and there's karma that's going to be incurred here. And I feel like you're just distracted by it. That's the word that comes to my mind. You're just really distracted. Whether you're single, you could be a single Taurus, but you're distracted by this person. This person is blocking your blessings. By being around you, by being in your life, they are blocking you. It's their negativity that's blocking you, okay? It could indicate somebody who wants to like sleep with you, okay, Taurus, and there's like a temptation there. Could be a guy or girl, and they wanna sleep with you. They may have a relationship, or you may be in a relationship. I'm getting that too. That's possible. So let's talk about the coin cards. In the distant past, you got this card. This is the Six of Pentacles, which is, I call this the Christmas card. This is gifts of cash. Christmas, birthdays, to give generously, to receive a loan or money for personal or for business. This is a good business deal. It says the heart of the giver is golden, and he or she shares their success, okay? So giving and receiving, being generous is coloring the reading. So Taurus, this is an excellent card for you financially, because that means you kind of know the benefit of being very generous and reaching into the pocket when you need to for somebody else who needs it. I feel like that's very, it's a lesson that you've learned well. For those of you who are watching, not everybody understands this, but this is something that you kind of have down. And this is coloring the reading. So, you may be sharing, being very generous in the month of May. I mean, this is your month anyways, Taurus. I see it as being your birthday month. So this is your time to really shine. I hate to see this person in here for you. I hate to see it, because it's just, Taurus, you deserve better, okay? That's it. You deserve better. Don't get dragged down. Don't get your soul sucked out. Don't get into, karmic games. Don't get into any bullshit. Just stick to the... It's so funny, because Taurus is like, they know how to stick to the cow path. They know how to do it, Stick to the road. I feel like some way, somehow, Taurus, you've gotten distracted. To me, it's like they're a carrot, and you've gotten distracted by that carrot because Tauruses love food, okay? And that carrot is a person who you can't have, okay? Or the carrot is, maybe you're the person that person can't, They can't have, maybe you're the carrot for somebody else. But it's just, there's a distraction going on. And what's crossing you is, it says a healthy bank account, a single person with enough money for the bills and some extra for shopping. Not richness, but stability and comfort. It says her garden is filled with flowers and children, and her husband sits and relaxes with her. So the image is, in my mind, of this card. If you're single, okay, you have enough money to go out and buy what you want, okay? You have enough money for yourself, but you have enough money to give back also to others, okay? This is also, I call this a paradise that you call your own, or a little piece of heaven. This can be your dream, what you're dreaming about, okay? May not be where you have this money, but I feel like, because Taurus is love, stability, and comfort, I wouldn't be surprised if you were planning to be in this paradise, with your kids and your husband, but I see it as you and your partner are basically sitting in this gorgeous garden, and your kids are playing however old they are. Maybe they're older, maybe they're kind of hanging around, but they're maybe out playing ball or something, or maybe they're doing something with the animals. Maybe they're playing with the dog, and you're just relaxing. You're sitting there relaxing with him, so or her. So it's one of those beautiful cards. I love this card. This is, what is this? This is the 9 of Pentacles. So this is one of the best coin cards you could get, okay? So you've got the 6, and you've got the 9, and you have the 3, okay, in the immediate future. So in the distant past, you have this cash card, okay, which is prosperity, receiving money, being generous, okay? What's crossing you is financial stability, the dream of having a paradise, a place to call your own, a place that you can sit in the sun and relax and be like, oh, this is it, this is the life, this is what I've wanted, and you sip, you're sipping your pina colada and life is good, That's what's crossing you. So you have that potential for it, even if you, think it's just a pie in the sky idea. The energy is there, okay? And in the future is the 3 of Pentacles, which is a promotion or bonus in career, new feelings, and a new relationship. If there's romance to be had, this is to take things to the next level. If you're dating someone, this is the next level, okay? It says an increase in wealth after much struggle and hardship. Improvements in love life will also follow. So that's really awesome. So you have those 3 coin cards. Now you also have this card, okay, which is the Page of Cups. And the page brings news. You could also be a student. This could be a young person. This could be your son. This could be your daughter. This could be you, Taurus, okay, who's, a student. Maybe you're looking for a new job. If you're older, this can just indicate a new job offer or a new job opportunity that comes through. And maybe if you've been looking for a job, and it's going to happen, okay? And you're going to love it. You really are going to love the job. And your hard work is going to lead to financial gain. And the only caution is, it says to just be smart about your choices, okay? So think things through. I feel like you are going to make the right choice, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm getting, don't be overly practical, okay? Don't be overly. Just, if a good opportunity comes up, don't overanalyze and be like, well, should I do this or shouldn't I do it? No, you kind of have it in your mind. You know what's right. You know what's best. You need to just take the leap and go for it. Okay, so you have that. You also got Le Pape, I don't think I said it right. Pope, the high priest. This is to get married or desire to get married. For some of you, this is in the recent past. This is also some of you maybe going to a wedding or just being very blessed. Many blessings from heaven. This is spiritual enlightenment, prosperity, and abundance of wealth through marriage. Okay. Those of you who are like getting cold feet or who are worried about getting into a relationship, like you're single, you get this card because this is telling you to not be afraid of love, okay? Or even if maybe you got out of a relationship and you're thinking about dating again, but you're really nervous, and this is giving you two choices. The story of the fool, he comes to this priest, and the priest says, the fool goes to him, I'm really scared. I'm really scared of getting hurt again. I'm really scared of relationships. What do I do? How do I proceed? And the priest says, you have two options. It's very simple. You either give up what you fear to lose altogether, or you consider what you would have if your fear came to pass. So he's saying, you will always come out on top. You will always win. Either you do it or you don't. If you give up what you're afraid to lose, okay, then the fear goes away, right? Or if you don't start dating, or if you don't get married, if you don't do anything, basically, then you can't get hurt, right? Or you choose to think of it differently. You choose to say, well, I'm going to go into this, and so what if I come out with nothing? I will have learned a lot. I will have come out with spiritual knowledge. I will come out with the experience and growth opportunities. So it's always a win-win situation. Always win-win. Even in the worst divorce cases, even if you lose it all, you still come out with something in the end. You come out with that experience and that life lesson, and you come out stronger. Usually people come out of those types of relationships stronger. I'm sorry, there's a bug in my room and it won't go away. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. Taurus. Okay, so what's coming in from the outside is, the outside influences. The universe is saying, you need to watch your checkbook, okay? This is checks and balances. It says working to balance your budget. This is going to indicate extremes to one side or the other. This can also indicate arguments over money or in relationships. This can indicate an equal partnership, which also will bring much prosperity. This is a love partner turned business partner. So I feel like for those of you, some of you may be married, okay? Some of you may have, that partner may be also a business partner, okay? I feel like, though, those of you who are married or in a relationship, you may have had a difficult time, and you may have a difficult time, I would say, later in May, probably the third week in May, balancing your budget, kind of agreeing about how to spend the money. I feel like there's an issue about how do you spend the money, where do you spend the money, who gets to spend the money, kind of thing. And it's so funny because, I was listening on the radio, and I think the number one reason why people, or they say they fight in a marriage, or the number one thing people fight over in a marriage is money. And I think Taurus, generally you have a really strong sense of practicality and how to spend money wisely. So for you to get this card is kind of out of character. I can see how maybe you might want to be very practical if you're with somebody who else is not practical. You may see it in a very black and white kind of way where you're like, okay, this is what we have. This is what, we, after we pay our bills, what we can afford to spend. And your partner doesn't see it that way. They see it like, well, they want to go here, 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 and do this, 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 and so what if it's not there? So what if they can't pay the bill at the end of the day? And maybe tourists are going, well, we have to be more practical because we have to pay these bills and da 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 da. And your partner just, you're not on the same page as your partner, I feel. So you need to kind of get back on the same page as your partner and say, okay, how are we going to figure out this financial situation? What are we going to do? Okay. If you're worried about money, you know, you're going to have to get to a point where you let that worry and that fear go. Again, because it's about being afraid to lose. It's being afraid to take a leap. And it's so funny because the card that's next is what's crowning you is, it says time to let go of the old and embrace the new. Okay? Current investments have not been fulfilling. This is time to seek a new financial advisor or a new relationship or girlfriend, boyfriend, etc. This can be a little bit of a wild time. For some of you who are younger, indicates wild kind of nights and roaming. These kinds of experiences will probably come to an end, but you might have a few wild nights. This is finding emotional fulfillment in unfamiliar places that are real. So what's crowning you for some of you is a new relationship. So I feel like, okay, so the story here is, Taurus, you were kind of waddling along down your cow path, and, you know, maybe in the past you were afraid of getting into a serious relationship. Somehow, some way, you came across this priest dude, and he said, well, you shouldn't be afraid because you're going to come out of it with something in the end. So don't worry. So you said, okay, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that. And you meet someone, and maybe you've been kind of the person to be a little bit wild. Maybe you've been the person to kind of roam a little bit and haven't settled down. And now it's kind of like, you know, the person that you decided to settle with, or the place that you decided to settle at, is someplace unexpected. It's like you're finding emotional fulfillment and happiness in something that you weren't expecting, and something that kind of maybe just hit you out of the blue, you know? I feel like that's kind of what's happening. And so we have that going along. And then you have an amazing card in the position of your attitude, okay? And this is later down the line, you know, towards the end of May. You got success, to have abundance in both love and money, to feast, to make love, to party. Enough money for everyone. Any obstacles in business or personal will be overcome, okay? Really, really positive. And then, you got, for the final card, you got the Hanged Man, okay? I love this card. This is a tough card, and this is going to be tough for you to hear, Taurus. But I'm going to read it anyways, and hopefully it'll make sense to you, and hopefully you'll take it in, okay? So it says, surrendering to the divine. What will be, will be. Be in the moment. Let go of money and possessions. It says letting go of possessions, of money and possessions, for a more spiritual life, or a more spiritual understanding. Once we let go, then everything will flow. But first, we need to learn what's most important. And unfortunately, we learn it through loss. Okay, it says having to pay a heavy load of karmic debt. It indicates moving and job loss and lots of change. It says give up the control, be patient, and wait on the will of heaven. And I wrote, life is not business. Okay, so you know, after we talk about financial prosperity and how basically you have it all, there may be a moment in time, either in May, late in May, or in June, I feel like it's going to be in May. Where you have, to me, you have like two very different things happening. Two very different energies. One is having it all. And then the other is giving it all up. And it's interesting because in order to have it all, you do sometimes in life need to give it all up. So for some of you Tauruses are going to have to give up something, whether that's your desire for money, your desire for security, your desire for abundance, your desire for a career, a job. There's something that you're going to, excuse me, have to give up. Whether you lose the job, whether you quit the job because you have to quit the job, or because something comes up and it forces you to be in this position of trust, of trusting the will of heaven, trusting that everything is going to be divinely timed. Everything's going to happen in a divine way. Sorry, my computer's being slow. I think it's better. Anyways, so it's about giving up the control, okay? So like again, some of you I feel like are going to go through this period of, in a way, spiritual enlightenment. And surrendering is something that I never thought I would ever talk about, but I had to learn it myself. And in order to surrender, it's not surrendering your free will. It's not like that. Surrendering your control, your need for things to happen a certain way, or else you have a total breakdown, you know? And this is the kind of thing where sometimes I bargain. You know, I bargain with God. I say, okay, God, I'm not going to do anything else until I get X, Y, Z. And that's what I do. And it's kind of crazy because, you know, it's never good to bargain with God, but I do it. Everybody does it. But the whole thing is like, in a way, Taurus, you're going through life right now, or sorry, in the end of May, you're going to get to this point in time where you have to surrender your control and say, you know, whatever happens in a certain timely way that may not make sense to you, but makes sense to the divine. Again, my computer is being very slow. And this is, you know, any loss that may happen at the end of May is happening because of karma. Okay. There may be a lot of change also. It may not even be a loss. It may just be change. It may be just like a lot of things kind of going on at the same time. You know, maybe changing jobs. You know, maybe changing jobs a couple of times. Maybe moving and then changing a job and then changing a job again and then moving again. It's like, you know, there's a lot of things happening that may happen like boom, 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 and that's karma. So if you start to notice a pattern where things are happening kind of very quickly and you may not be getting exactly what you want and you may need to make decisions and choices and go through a lot of change, that to me is because the universe is saying, we need you to surrender your control for the need to have a certain outcome, because until you do so, the divine can't do anything, you know, and your soul isn't doing what it's supposed to do. So it's sort of like getting a little slap on the wrist and you learning, okay, if I do give up my control, my need to have things the way I want, then I actually can have more abundance and all of this prosperity than I ever could have imagined. Because then my soul's doing what it's supposed to do, the heaven is working in the way, and all the sort of intrinsic pieces of the puzzle are working the way it's supposed to work, according to karma and according to the laws of the universe. So it's like when people are trying to be too controlling, ultimately a lot of times it's them, they end up shooting themselves in their own foot, because they don't allow for the miracle. They don't allow for that unexpected check in the mail to make them excited. They don't allow for that unexpected blessing to come through. And so they have to surrender. They have to learn how to surrender. And that way, everybody else gets their blessings too. Because it's not just about you. It's always a connected. Life is just so connected on this crazy, like, you could call it a matrix or grid type situation where we're all connected. And if you're being controlling, then that means somebody else isn't getting their blessings, because that means the mailman should have delivered that check to that person, but instead, because you're kind of holding on to that bag, it's like you're holding on to the mailman saying, no, you can't deliver that check to that person because you want your mail and you want it now, and you're forcing that to happen. But the mailman's got to get to that other mailbox at a certain time so that the check goes in there and that person gets that check at that time. So it's more than just you. So it's important that we all kind of learn to surrender at some point. And I feel like you're going to be learning what surrender is at the end of May. So let me know how things go. If you're doing a lot, you're moving a lot, and you've got a lot of things going on, just go with the flow. Don't overanalyze. Don't expect too much. Don't cling to any outcomes. Because the Hanged Man is a test. It's a test to see. Now, of course, in this deck, my Hanged Man is different than my other Hanged Man. So, you know, some of you are probably getting really confused and going, well, is this everything is relative type tarot reading? But that's just how I see this card. And that's how I see this with finances, okay? So this is a more financial focus reading. So anyways, that's all that I have for you, lovely Tauruses. I hope that, you know, your month goes really well. Let me know how things go. And I wish you the best. So I'm going to send you big hugs like I usually do. Big hugs. Big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, take care.